Oh, there was the one that the guy gave me.
The one when we were on a night out with Lucas Grabble of High School Musical.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the night well. Yeah, I've still got that one.
That is the happiest that I've seen you in my life.
Come on, Kurt, what are you saying?
We can get cracking if you like.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'll be here for hours.
So, hello, and welcome back to the Red Shutter Club. I don't know why I've started slapping the shutters, but hey. I'm here today with...
John Lindsay. Hi, I'm John. The John Lindsay, the aforementioned John.
The aforementioned John.
Yeah.
Who is beautifully drawn on the board as well.
Thank you, yeah. And I mean, I'm not famed for my visual art skills. I keep looking at the camera. Right, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to look at you. I'm not famed for my visual art skills or my handwriting or my sense of perspective. Hence, we've got all three avatars.
Hence, we have it drawn or written in very small letters and then drawn out, which definitely wasn't done on purpose.
Yeah. Well, I was going to just write it small, then just leave it. But then I thought, I mean, no, I do actually, like, people kind of need to see it.
Yeah.
So I thought I could erase it, but then, no, I'll just cross it out. I'll just,
Just put your mistakes out.
I bear my scars with pride and stuff.
It is. I feel like we've learned a lot about the different people and how they write their names.
Yeah, just in that alone.
Like, because I saw Ian grab the marker just kind of like that.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not here to judge. That's fine.
Or I don't know if he grabbed it like that, but the way that it was written, it looked like he grabbed it like
just
that.
Like chiseled it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jonnifer.
Hi, Shannon.
You're probably one of the people that I've known the longest in this little music community from the Monday Club.
Yeah. So when did you start coming again?
November, but I didn't start playing until March, and I feel like people didn't really know me until I played.
So November 21, right?
What year is it?
not the November, just not like,
yeah.
So November 2021. Yeah, because I mean I only started coming in the September, so I was still pretty fresh as well.
Oh, were we both noobs?
Yeah, so I'm not from around these parts. I don't say words like la and stuff.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
And
this is
I usually am bad at knowing people's names and where they're from, but I know where you're from because at every single one of your performances, in the background of the crowd, you hear Newcastle,
Johnny. Yeah, I'm from Newcastle. Yes, from like roughly just outside the city. Yeah, I only came to Liverpool at the end of August 2021, and then came to the Monday Club. That was the first place I played live in Liverpool.
Was it?
It was, yeah. Back in the day. And Ian pronounced my name. He said my name right that time. Ian Prowse, who you've already seen on this show by the time it airs. The one and only, possibly. Yeah, he called me John Lindsay that first time. And then pretty much after that, for the next roughly 6 months, he kept calling me Mark Lindsay. I corrected him many, many times. And he didn't change it.
Did you go on later in the night when he'd already been on the ale?
I mean, every time there's we have Mark Lindsay, and I just get up and say, "Hi, I'm John Lindsay," and go from there. And I'd spoken to a friend. Sorry, I fidget as well. I'd spoken to a friend. We had a plan that every time he pronounced my name wrong, I was going to pronounce his name wrong because there's so many things that rhyme with Prowse. Ian Louse, Ian Grouse, Ian Mouse, Ian House, etc. But then he started pronouncing it right, so I never got a chance to do it. And it would just feel bitter if I was the one who kicked it off. That Ian. Ugh. That guy.
So
I'm assuming that 90% of the stupid things I say aren't going to make it into this episode. But,
oh no, all of them are. Every single one.
All right, so every sort of like 20 minutes I'm going to have something actually worthwhile to say, and that's the bit that's going to get scrapped.
Actually, I usually don't do a lot of editing for these.
Oh, okay. a little bit of me assumed that this would be heavily edited. So
Yeah.
I've got minimal I've got Shannon level filter on, which is a thin veil.
Shannon level filter?
Yeah.
I have no filter?
No, as in like how much I have to filter what I say to you, rather than how much I need to filter what I say to.
Oh,
to other
okay.
people.
I was gonna say I hope that that's not my.
Oh no.
reputation
It's
in this
no
city.
the John to Shannon level filter, not the Shannon to the world level filter.
Well, I appreciate that I'm on a different level.
It's all right.
So your music obviously did not start in this city.
No, it did
Go
not.
on.
All right, so
Spin us a yarn.
well, let me tell you a story, Shannon. Let me do that again. Let me tell you. Gather around the fire. All right, so how it came about. I started playing music back in the 90s, man.
Yeah, man. Neither of us were alive.
I got lessons at school in guitar when I was 7, I think. I was in year 3. My sister learned piano a few years ahead of me, and I wasn't allowed to learn piano because that would be copying. But anyway, I stuck with the guitar. I'm happy with the guitar. Yeah, and then sort of like played a bit through school, hit a couple of walls and whatever. Then in my teenage years, I was mostly an electric player, and I was like, looking back, I think I was better than I realized at the time.
Yeah. Angsty John was better than you ever let him feel.
Just no, like pink. I'm glossing over that. Like, I know I used to listen to like a lot of sort of Pink Floyd, Hendrix, Zeppelin, like etc. And so that was the style that I used to play. But then I started traveling around a little bit, and not taking all that with me. And then I discovered I had a voice in 2010 or 11, I think it was. I was 18. It was first year of uni, and a lot of us went to the pub, not realizing there was an open mic on. And then everyone said, "John, get up and play a song, and we'll all buy you a pint each." So I did. I played "Wish You Were Here."
How big was the group?
I got 7 pints. I remember. I don't know why. Like, my memory retention is just like quite frustrating because I can still, like, a couple of months ago, someone had a reservation for like a tea. I remember their reference number was 15971.
Yeah.
That's in my head. But then I just forget so many things. Like, when you put something down and then you turn over there and then it's just gone and it just disappears and then you find it an hour later and so that's obviously where I put it. I can also just hear the ADHD just.
I was gonna say we've made it to the ADHD hour.
Yeah.
That was 5 minutes.
Did take long, didn't it? So I was in the pub. I got up and played a song and I got 7 pints, which is to this day the best pay rate I've ever been given for music. But it was like, I got off and then they're like, actually that wasn't that bad, was it? And then, I tried a little bit more. In 2012, I moved to Bangkok, Thailand. And that's really where I sort of grew as a musician the most. Mm-hmm. So I spent, in different blocks. I spent 5 years there between 2012 and 2019. Mm-hmm. And there is a little bar called Fatty's Bar and Diner. It's called, as in, like, owned by Y''S, not several. And that is owned by Matthew Fisher and Jarupa Mebunruan. That's a full-time name. I hope she's impressed that I remembered it. So Matt and Kay own that bar, and Matt's a very, very good musician, and he's, I guess, like, thinking about it, he's sort of been like my sort of music mentor over the years. So first time I played in there, it was a friend of mine said, I heard you play music. Do you want to play something out here? There's this bar called Fatty's that come along, blah, blah, blah. And so that's back when I would play pretty much just like Coldplay and Oasis covers and stuff.
As you do.
And got used to performing a little bit. And I didn't start writing anything until I was 22, I think. So when I first wrote a song. And then it was sort of that wasn't bad. Like, that's the first song you've written. a friend of mine, he started this thing, Project 52. He's like got a whole group of us on Facebook, and it's all right. We're all musicians, we're all songwriters. We should write a song a week for a year, and I think I kept it going for like 9 weeks. So I was like, everyone else like straggled quite immediately, but I kept it going. I got in a swing of it, and quite like it. And that's
it is a lot.
It is
because if you force yourself to write something, most of the time you can't write it.
Oh no, of course, yeah, and that's what the last time I wrote a song was like months ago. Like these days, I reckon if I can get 4 songs that I'm okay with in a year, I'd take that as a good year, to be honest.
Oh, theory.
Ooh.
Do you think that's maybe because when you first started out that it was like maybe the topics were, you could go to the more general topics, but now it takes a bit more? Because if you're 22, you've only written 1 song, there are plenty of untouched topics.
That is a good theory. Possibly. I haven't thought of it like that.
I haven't either until just now.
Yeah. So, yeah, watch Red Shutter Club and you learn tons of stuff.
We've gone into a deep dive. It's ADHD hour, pan flute hour.
Yeah.
And deep dive.
That's all right. Never mind.
I don't know. What do you need to correct me on the instrument?
Penny whistle. Pan flute is like
It's a penny whistle
thing. Yeah.
Oh, I've been schooled.
Educate yourself. Check yourself. You wreck your shelf. Whatever.
I
if I can't even say it right.
Before I wreck my shelf.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. I'm gonna kick this. Don't even care. Yeah, possibly. So I think so I've got an album out. It's called Wildfire. So that was produced in Thailand in the tiny little sweatbox room above the bar. It took a long time. Part of the reason it took a long time to make is because in like April or May, I remember one time we tried to record, and in that little room we don't have an air conditioner. For those of you who aren't aware, it's hot in Thailand. And April, May is like the hottest time of year. And so we didn't have an air conditioner in that room, so we just had a fan. But when we're recording, you got to turn the fan off. Yeah. And like 10 seconds in, I'm just dripping on the guitar. And it's like, yeah, all right, let's just go downstairs and have a beer and not do this, actually, because we're not being productive at all. Yeah, like the topics of, the songs in there, it is different. So like the new album that's in production, which will be out sometime after this airs. In X amount of time. It is very different. The tone is different. Like the song topics are different, and I guess since I started writing songs when I was 22, a lot of things were just, I hadn't touched them before, so it was easy to dip into them. And I guess now, I don't know. I can't write narrative songs really. It just doesn't come to me. Like I pushed myself in those first 9 weeks or whatever it was of Project 52 to get songs out. I think that was really good, and that got me into it. That sort of formed it as enough of a habit that I'm still doing it now. Obviously a lot less regular, but whereas now like the moment has to sort of take me a little bit, if that makes sense.
Well, it teaches you how to do it as well. Yeah. Because if you're doing it that close together, it's a very quick turnaround and learning curve. Yeah. So that is handy.
And I mean, for every song I've written, I'd say 2 or 3 that I've just sort of let. Yeah. That's like that.
And I think that especially, I don't know what your skill was at the time. I don't know how far along you were, but you are genuinely one of the best musicians on this scene. And you know how we can prove that? There was a very particular night where sometimes when these really, really lovely musicians get up and they've had a bit too much to drink, because it is England after all,
It's cultural.
Your citizenship is revoked if you don't have a few too fun of nights. But most people, when that happens, they get up and they completely forget who they are, and you hear things incorrect. That has
been witnessed before.
Yeah, but that's what happens most of the time. This man got through his entire normal set of very intricate finger picking damn near perfectly.
Muscle memory. No, I remember the night, and all of you who are watching this will know the night as well, because this is not the first time I featured on the Red Shutter Club. I feature on every Red Shutter Club. The last thing you saw before you saw Shannon introducing the Red Shutter Club was my and you as well. It was right after. So the entirety of that clip, which has been broken up, like there are only 2 clips of me in. There's like the little intro video where you're talking about like, hey, like I'm this and I'm that, like, and I play in the city called Liverpool, which has lots of like really good and sometimes wacky musicians. And there was that half-second shot of me dressed as an elf with baubles in my beard. And a Christmas pudding hat on. I looked wonderful.
Baubles or baubles?
Second one.
Go on.
I heard it. Yeah, the second clip is when I'm doing like, I don't know why, I'm just doing like jellyfish in Ellie's face. And then at the camera, well, you've seen it. I don't need to explain it because that's the inside of my face that you saw.
Well, that's where we filmed this.
Yeah, there we go.
This was quite a production thing to get you on the outside when we're or on the inside when we're in your mouth.
Well, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. No. That I don't know. From by all accounts, that particular set did go relatively well.
Relatively. John,
yeah, okay.
I don't think you understand. Everyone at the table that I was at and in the room who knew what state you were at, we were like joking about it, like, oh, let's see what he can do. Our mouths, or like our jaws, were glued to the floor. You left Ismail speechless, and that doesn't happen.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so I could do it well. And right. Also, this is making me think again of, I said Matthew Fisher was basically my musical mentor.
Yeah.
The only other person I've ever seen, like, he plays better when he's wasted than when he's not.
Yeah.
There's one particular time we were at this basically an institution. If you're watching this and you know, the vast majority of you won't, and you're missing out. Whirly Lights, it's a very special place, and it's Matt got up and he was not in his he wasn't fit to drive, let's say. But he just smashed out the set. I mean, his music is like quite sort of melancholy, and it just had so much feeling in it. And I don't know if that was what, like, the sort of the circumstance he was in sort of brought that out in him, but it was a beautiful set. And then he fell asleep wrapped around the microphone stand.
Like a dog.
Like it's like, yeah. I know the more I think about it, like, this whole interview doesn't need to be. Oh, sorry, mustache hair went up my nose. The trials of life. This whole thing doesn't need to be a homage to one person, but yeah, I know people going about my finger picking and stuff. Like, I watch and I learn. So, like, Matt does that a bit. I didn't deliberately watch Matt get really drunk and play a set and then think, you know what, several years later, it's going to be me. No, like, things like, how close you are to the microphone, just sort of some kind of stage presence. When I started out, I used to have a really quiet voice, just like very sort of breathy, and you have to turn me right up on the levels. And I don't know what happened. So I left Bangkok in 2016, I moved to Palestine, and in 2017 I moved back, and all of a sudden, like, I had a new, like, people were commenting and say, oh, like, never used to sing like that. What happened? Don't know. Just 2016. It was a hell of a year, wasn't it?
Seriously?
Yeah, no, I really don't know what happened. I don't know if it's maybe a mindset thing, because I mean, I've always been like a bit of a shy boy, which you have only known me for a little bit, Shannon. I didn't always have these fantastic nails, but I wouldn't have been able to carry these off not so long ago.
Half price.
Yeah. I got salt of the earth down here, and fruit of the vine up here, all in one. All in one handy set of fingertips. Oh, by the way, these are Avatar: The Last Airbender nails, if anyone's a fan. I've got the water, earth, fire, and air nations, and then Aang in the Avatar state. And that's glow in the dark. It's really good. Oh, wait, am I allowed to advertise where I got them done?
If you want to, yeah.
Beauty Box, L1 Beauty Box on Berry Street, just like next to Chinatown. they're really good in there. They're fantastic artists. Go in there and tell them John sent you, because there aren't many of us called John who go in there regularly.
Yeah, there's a lot of Johns in Liverpool.
Yeah,
but
and then
probably not in there.
And then you can also say Red Shutter Club, and then we're just doing each other favors here. Maybe they can put up some of your posters or something.
My flyers.
We'll figure out a deal after filming.
Okay. Yes, lad.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was saying before.
Honestly,
What was
can't
the
either.
question?
I don't think I've asked a question yet, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you just said expand.
Yeah.
Expand. I have done.
That's what you do.
Yeah, but in summary, I've grown as a musician, and I've needed little nudges here and there, just for like tips of things like how to stand. My playing, I've tried new things. I've tried things that I can't do yet. I've written songs that I can't play yet, like Wildfire, the title track of that first album. I couldn't play it when I wrote it, because I roughly was like trying to figure out how to play it, and it took a lot of practice to be able to like actually get the fingerstyle in.
I was about to say that's kind of silly, but I've actually done that too. There's a song on my first album which I recorded right here, literally in this seat, not this chair because I found it downstairs in the foyer of this building, but at this table on this mic. And there was a song, and I knew what I wanted it to sound like, but I can't bar chords, and I can't really use my pinky, which is problematic as a musician. But I knew it, and I figured it out, but I couldn't play it at the same time, so I literally have 2 takes, where on one I'm doing parts, and then on the other I'm doing the other parts. I've never been able to play it, but it is on the album.
But you can play it. You are able to. You just have, like, little secret, if you want to play guitar well, practice. Like, relentlessly practice. No, Shannon.
I could.
Relentlessly practice. I've written, like, the song I'm going to play on the little sofa session. I couldn't play that. It took me ages to do it. And it's taken a while to build up to it. So, like, Wildfire, for example, is like, do like very sort of heavy bass notes in there. That started off, I learned to play that because I learned to play the song I wrote. Because I learned to play Green Green Rocky Road from Inside Llewyn Davis, and that was like same like the low D, like do 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 do, which I realized wasn't in tune when I sang it. I am a better singer than I just demonstrated there. We'll move on.
We'll put a pin in that.
Do 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 do. There we go. Yeah, so that took a long time to learn, like just to coordinate like individual fingers, and then it became natural. Then I could move on to something else. Like a song of Matt's called Hammer and Nails. That's again like quite sort of fiddly, and it took a while to learn it, but I was determined to learn it. And then when I did, then you can expand that skill. Like it's just sort of, I know, level up.
I'm not suggesting that I will never be able to do it. I'm suggesting that I don't have the motivation at this point in time to do it.
That is a good, accurate answer. You haven't prioritized it.
I haven't prioritized, but I'm fine with that because I'm prioritizing plenty of things.
And this
like
is a really
learning
good thing.
how to edit 3 camera angles and 2 microphones and occasional background input and on 17 videos in a month.
And a whole bunch of ADHD.
Well, I've mastered that.
Oh, okay, right, fine. Etc.
But yeah, so you said that the most you've been paid is via 7 pints.
Yeah.
So you are just out here for the music.
Yeah. So I, at the time of filming, there have been 2 released episodes of the Red Shutter Club. The first one made me feel like I don't belong in this room. I should not be interviewed. And the second one made me feel a little bit better. I was like, all right. Because Ellie was like, knows all about the business side of it, and she's doing all these things, and the advice that she was giving, I was like watching it and thinking, oh yeah, I'm not doing any of that. And then James sort of had like pretty much the opposite approach.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, right. Bit of like validation. It's all right. Yeah, I'm terrible at the business side of things, the social media side of it. Like I'm good at getting up and playing some music. I can sort of admit that to myself now. I can say confidently I'm a decent musician. On the stage, but everything else, it's just it's not fun. I don't want to like all the like posting things about myself, advertising myself, like just trying to sell myself, it really doesn't appeal at all, and it sucks the joy away from it. So I mean, I use music, like the reason I write songs, it's a form of expression, it's a release, it's an escape from X, Y, and Z that might be going on in life and stuff. The covers that I like to play as well, I play them because I want to play them. I don't want to learn songs that I don't want to play but will like pander to a crowd or anything.
Yeah. You don't want to Wonderwall it?
I don't want to Wonderwall it. Don't Look Back in Anger. And it's like Sally can piss off. I don't care what she does. Just wait if you want. Go like just stop it. I don't care what Sally does. I never want to hear her name again. Sorry to any Sallys who are watching.
Don't come to this flat ever in the summer because that plays about 2 times an hour downstairs.
All right, I consider myself uninvited. I'll see you next winter. But there's reading a room, and then there's reading. I think the term "reading the room" is somewhat versatile. There can be, like the Belvedere, which is an open mic that we both go to as well. It's a really nice little room, and yeah, it's a nice little musician circle. Everyone sits there and listens to the music. I don't feel the need to just, I never feel the need to play "Don't Look Back in Anger."
Yeah.
Whereas in a radio room where it's like, you're losing them, you might be more inclined to do something like that, to play a quote-unquote crowd pleaser. But
that's something that James said in his first episode, which we sadly lost in a milk explosion in my backpack. That was...
Are we speaking figuratively or...
No.
Right.
Like, I stopped at
I
Little...
prefer that, actually, yeah.
I stopped at Little, I got some groceries, put them in my bag, and it leaked just enough that there was, like, that much.
That's very
upsetting. It was
upsetting.
just enough to cover the hard drive.
All right.
And I lost his first interview.
Oh, mate.
But pissed in a lampshade. That was fine. Thank God.
Good.
But yeah, what was I saying?
Pandering to the room, reading the room, and like I wouldn't want to play Don't Look Back at the Belvedere because that's reading the room there. But some people might want to play it in a rowdy room.
Yes, I remember he said something in his first interview. Hold on, I can think of it, and I can cut out when I'm trying to think of it. Hold on.
I could I could give my thoughts on it and see if that triggers you.
Okay,
if you want.
go on.
So I don't like pandering to the room, because if you pander to the room to try and win over the people that aren't currently, like, that you haven't won over yet, like, why do you need them? Like, I don't know. I've never been in a rowdy room and heard that song played, and like have it have any major impact. You'll get people who are like, oh, tune, and then they forget about it. Are they going to go home and say, oh yeah, there's this guy who played a really good rendition of Don't Look Back in Anger?
Yeah.
Or are they going to just look around for a second, sing about Sally for a bit, and then get back to their drinks and continue to not listen to you?
You've really got something against Sally.
Yeah.
Who hurt you?
Sally hurt me. Sally.
Okay, but I do remember.
All right, go on.
So, did I just forget again? Oh. So, what he said, and I think it was in the first interview because I don't remember it in the one that I had to go through and get like TikTok material for. But it was, he thinks before I go to an open mic, I'm going to do this song, and this song. I'm going to keep it quiet. I'm going to keep it tame because these are the songs I want to play. But then as soon as he gets to the venue and he sees the reactions and he knows what reaction he can get from his belters, then he selfishly wants more attention.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'll do the belters. And I do the same damn thing.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to keep it tame this week at Monday Club. And I did 3 belters and I can feel it.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to say, please allow me plenty of room for hypocrisy.
Go on.
I think that's valid. Like, between the point of like, yeah, like there's reading a room, like having a set list in your head is great, and it's not that you have to be so rigid that like, nope, this is what I decided and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If belters are getting a good reaction, there's no reason why you necessarily have to change that. If you're if you're happy doing it.
Mhm.
I mean, if it's so, I mean, I've got a few sort of louder ones myself that I like to play. Things like I don't know, I do a rendition of like Teardrop, for example, which I quite like. When I played it, and it's gone down relatively well. I do like the song. I heard the Jose Gonzalez version first, and I thought that was brilliant, and that's also a bass mine off. I wouldn't play that at the Belvedere because it's not the room for it. But if I play it at the Jacaranda, for example, when it's more the space for it,
when it's more than a 2 foot by 2 foot room.
Yeah, I think that's more an area for it, and so it's not necessarily, not to like backpedal on what I was saying earlier, just to sort of clarify it a little bit. It's not that, you have to sort of decide what you're doing and that's it and stick to your guns. Like, but I do think you have to want to do it. Like,
well, I think there's a difference between reading the room and being like the only thing you're thinking about is being a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between me saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do that Sally song that I don't actually know the name of."
Yeah. I'm not gonna repeat it.
Or me saying, you know what, at the Jack or at the Monday Club, any musician I know I can just pull on the stage to play with me. I'm gonna have them up and we're gonna do Strawberry Love.
Yeah.
And the crowd's gonna love it.
And they're gonna love it, and it sounds class. And do you enjoy doing it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, good then.
Yeah.
Like,
but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna go up like, if I'm not feeling Lenny, I'm not gonna play Lenny.
Yeah.
But if I'm up there and I'm indifferent and there wasn't something I wanted to play anyway, and I'll be like, and you know what, it's a little sad because some of my quieter songs that I get really good reactions to from the recorded versions, I don't necessarily play those a lot at Monday Club, but I'm also okay with those being recorded songs.
Yeah. And that's like, yeah, and that's also something.
It's a different market.
Yeah. Also, we all have fallback songs. So when I'm playing at the Monday Club, for example, particularly at the Monday Club of all the places I play, Familiar Rush, which is the title track of the album that is on its way. It's coming. Which I also couldn't play when I wrote it. That was a nightmare to write because it's, and people come up to me, oh, what chords are those? I don't know. It's just these. I know these frets. I don't know what chords I'm playing. I just did it, and it came about with work and with a lot of practice.
Mm-hmm.
I know that one goes down well, and so I end up falling back on it, and that to me a little bit there's been a few open mics, particularly recently, where I've said I don't want to play this stuff. I don't like falling back on the same stuff because that's becoming just a crowd pleaser to me. It's losing what it meant to me. I'm losing the feel of the song, and I don't like that. Oh, it's upsetting.
You know what's? Oh, I'm curious now because, for my crowd pleaser is always something where I'm belting. That's my strength. I'm not a great guitar player, but I can do strange things with my voice. So, but the two songs that are like really belter that I have that are originals are actually songs of my uncle's that I've restructured and rewritten. But all my other belters are covers. Well, all of my belters are then covers, so it's nothing that I've written. Oh, I'm scared now because I have some that I'm working on.
Well, good. See how it goes. Practice them.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you're like, oh, John, go sing a banger. The closest I've got to a banger, really, or something that's not quite mellow and melancholy is the Christmas song.
Yeah.
With a shameless da 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 at the end. Yeah,
another one.
It's called. I like it. I like the song, and it's called "Someone Start Singing." By the way, it's already released. We released it in a massive rush before Christmas. And it's
and
it's
that was
not
with Ellie, yeah.
Yeah, that was with Ellie.
Who's also already been on.
Oh, is he already recorded, is he?
He has.
Oh, fair.
He was hopped up on caffeine and brought his own fruit basket.
I can see it. I can visualize it perfectly. Ali Horn, he's the one who's sort of recording and producing the new album. I'm incredibly grateful for everything that he's doing. And we had a rush to release the Christmas song, and it's not an anti-Christmas song, because it's not like reindeer and chips are my favorite food and Santa's a nonce, jingle jingle jingle. It's not anything like that. I didn't need to say that at all. That wasn't necessary.
We're absolutely keeping it in though.
That wasn't rehearsed. I'd like to just put that out there.
Why? What did it?
I don't know, but just like those words just came at the moment. They weren't well thought through. I've got my Shannon level filter on where I can just blurt to you. I reckon the summary of that Christmas song is like, that's the feel of it, because it's like it is. Like, listen, you just feel like it's basically like, look, it's all been like forced down our necks that Christmas is this incredible, amazing time and everyone's supposed to be happy. Yeah, but it's cold and I'm wet and I don't like it.
Tell us how you really feel, John.
I feel like I'm glad that this should be my last winter in the UK. Not because I am going to do anything drastic. I'm just going to leave the country. That's it. Like, chill. Yeah. What's it? Yeah, and just
for me, it's not.
Plan to skip town before next winter. It's. I think it came out quite nicely. Everyone has their own opinions. Some people want a jingle jangle Christmas song.
But you're not a jingle jangle person.
I'm not a jingle jangle person. Yeah, and so I don't want to force.
Unless it's in your beard.
Unless it's in my beard. I don't want to force the jingle jangleness. I mean, even like I know you were talking to Ellie in the first episode about branding and stuff. Like, yeah, this is what I look like all the time.
Yeah, and your music is what you feel. In fact, we're going to insert a photo of the John Lindsay enjoying himself face. Would you like to do an impression side by side?
Yeah, so when someone's playing and I'm really concentrating on what they're playing and really enjoying it, it's just sort of a...
One day we will sneak a photo into one of the Belvedere frames of said I'm enjoying myself face.
Good. Yeah. I like it. I kind of want to put it... I think I've told you about the plan to put it like behind clocks. So it's something like when I left one of my old jobs, I never got around to it in the end. But I wanted to put a picture of myself behind the clocks, because how often do you change the battery on a clock? Yeah. And so like
to be fair,
in like a year's time, someone's just gonna be like,
you can hide photos of yourself in a lot of places that people aren't gonna notice. And I left my mom's office and I hid 20 photos of myself, but the thing is I distracted them with so many other things. I put my face on every single desktop screensaver, and I'm still getting text messages when they find new photos.
That's cool. I like that.
I think that was when either I moved back after COVID, or it could have been when I moved to here the first time in 2019. Still getting messages.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if any of the international crowd are watching, some of you will know that there are pictures of me in very curious places as well.
We all knew that.
I'm not going to expand on that. The Bangkok crowd will know. But yeah, this is my brand. It's pretty minimalist. The nail, like I said, the nails are new. That's just out of sort of rejuvenated acceptance of who I am, to be able to just embrace it. It's all about how you carry it as well. So like
half price.
I just quite like, and half price. Yeah. And and I like with my music as well. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have like an image, like physically, and I don't want to have sort of the equivalent with my music as well. I don't want to pander to a crowd because that's what they're expecting. I don't want to have to commercialize any of the songs because that's what's expected, because that sucks the fun out of it. That makes me not enjoy it.
But you're someone who you're not trying to do it for a living.
No.
So as someone who's watching these people who are trying to do it for a living, what do you look at and think, oh, that makes it good, that makes them good? Like, what stands out to you as not only like a spectator who's also part of the scene and is also very talented, or what like just infuriates the living hell out of you?
The commercialization and the necessity for commercialization. So, like all the social media side of it, like having to sort of paste yourself everywhere, is something that I don't want to do. That I'd be uncomfortable doing. And I mean, I've considered before, like doing music professionally. So I'm in a little bit of a, let's call it, I'm in a sort of crossroads in life, and weighing up options. And I have considered, like, why don't I do music? What am I good at? And yeah, like I could, in terms of just musicianship, like listening to what I'm doing, I think I could be a musician. However, that's not all it is. There's like the business side, the strategy. There's the social media side. There's like doing this and that and the other, and it feels draining. It feels like that's not what I do it for. So I have a massive amount of respect for the people who do it and enjoy it. Equal respect for the people who don't necessarily enjoy everything about it, but do it because that's what has to be done. And that work ethic, again, like, fair play. Like, if you're willing to do that and you want to do that, you go for it. I'm not here to say that you shouldn't be doing it, but I know that it's not for me, and I can't. Or maybe I can. Maybe people watching this are.
You can, John.
Yeah.
Just like you said to me, you can.
Yeah, I just remembered that. I told you to allow me room for hypocrisy. All right. Yeah, there might be people watching this in a similar position, thinking I'm a good musician. I'm confident in my skills, but I don't know what to do about it, or don't know how to go about it. I'm not the person to give you advice on that. I'm the person you can either look to as I like what he's doing. He plays music because he wants to, and that's what I want to do as well. Or you could take me as a bit of a warning in that I'm going to end up not making. No, as in like I'm not going to end up making as much of it as I could. Like I don't need to headline Glastonbury. No. If they came knocking and said, "Oh yeah, but you need to open a TikTok account," so fine, I'd do it. Like, it's not gonna happen.
That's the only thing you need to headline Glastonbury.
The only condition. It's the very small contracts those guys have.
Oh yeah.
The Glastonbury's.
Well, pay less for lawyers, you know.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I think my dream as a musician is to be respected by musicians I respect. Like that's as much as I can really ask. So like the album that I'm making with Ellie, I think that's gonna turn out really well. The single that's coming out after this airs, it should already be out. It's called Such a Pretty Thing, and if it's not out, something drastically wrong happened. So it should be available on all platforms.
Well, as Ian said,
now. It's
music, and we prepared for something to go wrong, but it's music, so of course it went wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to play it on the couch later, so you'll have it. What's that? I completely forgot what I was saying again. What we get on?
You were talking about mutual respect.
It's something to be. I think that's something to be proud of. I really like how that song came out, that single. I like how the way the album's turning out, and I think we can make something to be proud of. In a bar in the middle of nowhere, someone might pull the shutters down, like have a bit of a lock-in, go and crack open a beer. Have you ever heard of this guy, John Lindsay? No. Oh, let me play you one of his songs. Yeah. And that'd be really cool. And in a world of such sort of globalization, like that is possible as well. Yeah. When I'm playing in a room, it's gone back to the reading the room as well. Like the Monday Club, sometimes the crowd's not necessarily the most attentive. No. Sometimes it's a bit of an inattentive crowd, and I've seen musicians play their belters over the top of it, and sometimes that works, and sometimes people just shout louder because the music's louder. And so what I've tried before, what I'm trying to sort of get in the habit of as well, is just play what I want to play anyway, because the people who aren't listening aren't going to listen. Like the people who don't,
the people who are listening just want to hear you play,
and the people who do, and the people who play the people who do want to listen to you, and you can pick them out in the crowd. I mean, in a crowd of people where half of them have got you see looking at the back of their heads as they're shouting to their mates. When you see a couple of eyes looking right at you, you can see it. You can play to that person, and so I'd rather play for the one who cares than for the 99 who don't.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is me talking before Glastonbury have come knocking, asking me to open a TikTok account, and
Well,
it could all change.
The thing with that is I think a lot of musicians who are in it just for the music, there's something deep down where they're like, but I do want to be on Glastonbury.
Yeah.
And it's this weird dynamic of, they act like they're very above these things, and you don't have that. So opportunities do come knocking at your door. I mean, I've seen you open for 2 people in the last 6 months.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the first one? It was Guy, and who is the guy who's going to that in the opening credits.
Yeah.
Scene,
Yeah. And there was one in the Jacaranda.
Oh, yeah.
I was late, but you opened.
I forgot about that. The Guy gig. So I really like. So Guy is a friend. He's the first friend I made in Liverpool, actually, at the Monday Club. So my first time there was his first time there.
Oh.
I know it's a beautiful love story. I know. And I also met Blair through the Monday Club. So I started, and then Blair went, and then Guy went. It was Guy's album release. And I really enjoyed that gig because for a start, there wasn't any money involved anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't want it. You know, when he suggested can you open at my album launch? It wasn't how much are you going to pay me? It was just yes, because I want to, because you're my friend and I enjoy playing music.
And that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, so it's like there's no negotiation, there's no business, there's no having to there's no fuss.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a bit of fuss because the sound guy turned out was double booked, and I was there. Yeah. But no, the actual music itself, I liked it. It was good. I played what I wanted. I think I played 2 covers in there because I wanted to play them.
And one was of a local musician.
And one was Guy's song. Actually, yeah.
Didn't you do Jamie's as well?
Oh yeah, through Jamie's. Yeah. So this was in January. I played the Christmas song just because I did like I like the feel of everyone going da 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 da, and it's nice. And then so that song came about. The reason that I played that in the way that it is because I tried to play Dallas Cowboy, which is one of Jamie's songs, and so that 6/8 rhythm, that and like heavy on the bass notes again, that's just something that I tried because I thought I want to play Dallas Cowboy, but not just as he plays it. I want to try and put my own spin on it. Yeah. So I did, and then I ended up writing another song based on the cover, and so Dallas Cowboy fit in perfectly because that was at the foundation of someone start singing.
Yeah, which Jamie is coming on, for us tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay, all right.
For you watching, he was already on. Really exposing how far ahead we're filming these. Yeah. But it was
exposing how you... No, never mind. Just, we'll just shove John on later. Give him time to regret.
He asked for a slot. You didn't.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask for a slot. I felt bad. I felt bad asking him to be on this because this is your thing, and I didn't feel like I don't feel like I'm a musician.
You are.
Yeah, but no, there's a capital M on that, and I don't think I'm a musician. So I never used to refer to myself as a musician at all before I started writing music. I thought I was a guy who plays music, and now I would say I'm a musician with a lowercase m, but I'm not a professional musician. I'm not dedicating myself to it. I'm not doing everything that's like I play music, but there's so much stuff that encases that, and I'm not doing any of that. So like I said, when I watched the first episode, I don't have branding, I don't have all this stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting the effort in. I guess.
Well, would you consider James O'Donnell a musician?
That's a good point. Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
I mean, this is also probably just speaking more about like my own sort of self-perception as well.
Yeah. We love imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Any final thing you want to plug? Because after the thank yous and stuff, we'll plug the album.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's on that, yeah. The new album's coming. Do what you want to do. Do it because you enjoy it, and don't drive yourself to not enjoy it. Even things like, playing originals or playing covers. I like to play originals, and I often feel like I should play originals, but sometimes it's just nice to play covers. I mean, you know what? As John Witherspoon said at the Belvedere, who he hosts it. So yeah, just play what's on your heart.
Mm-hmm.
do that, and that's what I get out of it.
And I think with that, we should head off to our couch concert.
Let's do it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Give me another clap.
Summer lends us one last glance as the breeze plucked the leaves to place them in our hands, away from the city's crowded streets, basking in the gold and in the green. I look at you and catch your eye. Time hesitates, then it speeds on by. I don't care what else we do, as long as I can be here next to you. Such a pretty thing, easing the pressures that build up in time. Such a simple thing, calming the overthoughts rushing my mind. Strange comfort I feel, so rare a thing to find, and I question if it's real. Stripped of worry, shame or pride, in your gentleness you lay all else aside. Now it's getting dark and cold, the blessed sun retires, now we have to go. We should spend time like this again, while we have the chance, my friend. Such a pretty thing, so easy to breathe and to simply feel free. I won't try to explain, I'll stay silently thankful and just let it be.
Sips tea into the mic. All right. Before the camera battery dies, thank you so much for joining us on here today, John.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We've run the camera longer than we've ever run it.
How long have I just been talking relentlessly? A while, yeah.
Is there anything you want to plug?
I can't think of anything. No. My name's John Lindsay. I've got that album. It's called Wildfire. That was back in the day. The new album is called A Familiar Rush. It'll be out in 2023. There should be a single out by the time that this is being watched called Someone Starts... No, not Someone Starts Singing. The Christmas song was called Someone Starts Singing. That's already out. Listen to it at Christmas. Every single Christmas. I'm basically this generation's Mariah. And I'm going to sing a song called Such a Pretty Thing.
You already sang a song called...
I already sang a song called Such a Pretty Thing.
Because we definitely don't film this part before.
Cool. I have a single out called Such a Pretty Thing. Listen to it, please. And if you like it. If you don't like it, don't bother listening.
Where can people find this stuff? Probably your Instagram.
Yeah, so you'll be able to find links to it on my Instagram stuff. One thing I do need to do is sort out all my links and stuff, because that's another thing I'm bad at.
So I can just put it in the description.
You can put it in the description, and it'll all be on Spotify and like all the major platforms.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you just maybe I can find a way where if you tap on that face, it'll take you there.
Yeah.
I might not have that ability.
Actually, because there's another John Lindsay out there. So when the Christmas song came out, I keep forgetting the name of it, Someone Starts Singing, when that came out, it was kind of nice that so many people saw who the artist was, and it was this like old guy in America, and it's, oh, John, you've aged. I was like, oh, you listened to the song, thanks. Just this old American guy called John Lindsay, who Spotify decided wrote my song, and I had to get on some like, it is not. And I was like, yeah, hey Spotify, can you sort that out? And this is on Christmas Eve. Yeah. I'm like, wait, like, And that's why it took me a while to find it as well, because it was supposed to be released, and then I looked for it on Spotify, and I was like, it's not there. And I was getting in touch with Ali, and I was like, hey, what's going on with this? And he's like, oh, like maybe, because I was in Australia at the time, so like maybe time difference or whatever. Still, it hadn't come up. And then I just like searched for it, and it's like, this isn't the man who wrote the song. This is just a guy. So if you're looking for a John Lindsay, not the one with grey hair. Yeah, and on that little nugget of
And on that,
wisdom. Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you. And thank you, Ellie, for filming and stuff as well. You're all right.
So rare a thing to find, and I question if it's real. Stripped of worry, shame or pride, in your gentleness you lay all else aside.
Thank you, Shannon. It's been nice to be here.
We're going to get to that.
Oh, okay. Well, I retract that thank you. It's been distinctly average.